In today's video, we're checking out Moto's smart air pump to see if this is something that you might want to buy. There's nothing worse than coming out into your vehicle and finding this notification come up on your dash, meaning that you have a tire with low air. This compact pump can pretty much be stored anywhere, so you can always bring it with you. You can put it in your glove box or even an under-seat compartment. So we're going to go ahead and test it out today on normal car-sized tires. We'll test it out also on a bicycle tire and even high-pressure tires like this trailer tire, 80 psi, and even some four-wheel drive tires that hold double the air. After unboxing Moto, you'll see that it has a plastic cover over it and then also your owner's manual, which you really should read because it tells you it can inflate up to 120 psi. But now that we've moved on from that, we'll go ahead and finish getting the rest of the contents out of the box. And it comes with a bag, a charging cable, and a few accessories to pump up different items. The Moto pump comes in at 392 grams, which is just under a pound and a little bit bigger than my hand. It's actually a really simple pump to use because there's not a lot of components. The air hose is actually stored within the unit, so all you have to do is pull it out, screw it into the top of the air pump, and then once you're done with that, you're pretty much ready to go. In order to turn on the unit, you just press and hold the center button for 3 seconds and it comes on, and you can see the digital display shows all kinds of information. By pressing the left and right buttons, this will increase and decrease your set pressures, and you can customize each one as well. The presets have like a car, a bicycle, motorcycle, sports equipment, and more, and you can also change PSI to bar and other types of pressure levels. By pressing the center button, this will turn on the unit, and by simply pressing the button one more time, that'll shut it off, or it will shut off automatically at the set pressure. Moto also has a work light. By simply pressing and holding the top button for a second, this will turn on the light, which is plenty bright enough to kind of see what you're doing at night if you happen to need it. The pump also comes with a pressure relief valve on the top side, and it comes with a little button on the bottom, which this helps you get the air hose out when you're ready to use the pump. Now, Moto is in no way supposed to be replacing like your bigger air compressors like these, or even these higher dollar portable air compressors that have to be directly wired in. These are heavy duty pumps, but Moto is an awesome little pump that you can add to your arsenal of equipment to take with you and have for emergency purposes. We're going to start off by airing up this little cart dolly real quick. Now, these little tires only hold about 5 psi, but instead of having to wheel this over to a compressor, I can just bring the pump over here. So we'll try it out. We'll see how long it takes. Now, if you look here on the little display, it says 0 psi. It's kind of hard to see, and I have the set pressure set at 5, so I'll turn it on, and then we'll time it to see about how long it takes, and then I'll speed up the video. That way we don't have to sit here for a long time. But while you guys are here, be sure to smash that like button for me if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more content that's coming out real soon. And now that the pump shut off, it only took about, well, roughly 40 seconds to put in 5 psi, so that wasn't very long at all, which that's great, so good first test. Let's try it on a car. We'll first start off by checking the air pressure in this tire with just a normal air pressure gauge, just to confirm that the air pump is actually reading about the same. So you can see it's about 25.5 psi. We'll go ahead and hook up the pump real quick, and it lost about a half, which is perfectly normal when you're unplugging and plugging things in. Go ahead and turn on the pump and the timer, and then we'll go ahead and speed up the video. Okay, the pump is stopped. We just put 11 psi into the tire. It took about 11 minutes and 50 seconds, give or take. So that's about a little bit more than a minute for every psi that it had to pump into the tire. Let's try something else. So we'll go ahead and air up this bicycle tire that's been sitting in my shed for a little bit. It doesn't have any air in it. As you can see, it's at 0 psi, and I set it to 30. So we'll go ahead and start it up. We'll hit the timer and see about how long it takes to air up 30 psi on a bike tire. And there we go, the pump stops. So now it only took about a minute for every 10 psi, but that's also because the bike tire doesn't really hold a lot of volume. And even though the light's orange, I've already inflated a few items so far. So now we're going to do a high pressure test to see if it can actually inflate these tires up to 80 psi. These tires cold are supposed to be inflated to 80, as you can see on the side there, but you also want to check the placard that might be on the trailer or the vehicle that you're working with to make sure you're inflating it to the correct air pressure. Now we'll go ahead and do an air pressure check real quick to see what it's at, and you can see that it says 70.5 psi, so we'll hook up the pump. I'm going to set it to 80, and then we'll speed up the video again just to see about how long it takes, and then we'll come back in a second. And there it goes, the pump shuts off. And if you take a look, it actually took just a little over a minute again to basically do 1 psi each. Even though it had to do a much higher pressure than the car tire earlier, it still was about a little over a minute for each psi, which to get it up to 80, that's pretty impressive for this little pump. Okay, and for the last test, we're going to do these bigger four-wheel drive tires that hold double the volume, so we'll see how long it takes to bring it from about 31 psi, and we're going to go up to 39. That way, by the time these tires cool down, they should be right about 37, 38. We'll turn it on, do the timer, and we'll go ahead and fast forward the video and see how much longer it takes to do these bigger tires. All right, now that the pump has stopped, if you take a look, we had to put 8 psi in there, and it took double the amount of time, 16 minutes. So that means it took 2 minutes for every psi it had to do for these bigger tires that happen to be on these four-wheel drive units. So, I mean, that's a lot of work for a little pump like that, but it still did it, which was kind of impressive. But I don't know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe, and until then, I hope to see you guys next time.